Welcome everybody to York Reacts, and today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different on my channel because normally I'm breaking down game trailers, I'm doing all kinds of different stuff, but today we're going to be talking about how to get your first job in the video game industry and how I got mine. And this is going to be a personal story. I'm going to share with you guys how I got my first kind of gig, how I got started, got my foot in the door as they call it. Because not everybody gets their foot in the door a certain way, right? Some people do it very unconventionally, and some people do it a very conventional way. They go to school, they do it exactly the way you would think is how they get a job. But today I'm going to touch on all kinds of cool subjects on that topic, and I'm going to talk about how I personally got my job. So if you're into something like that, subscribe. There's going to be a whole bunch of other videos. Hopefully you guys enjoy this stuff, so let's break it down and let's jump into it, shall we? So to talk about my story and to get started and to basically tell you how I got into the industry, I'm going to take you back just a few steps backwards to when I started in college and in school, right? So I didn't know what I wanted to do at first. In the beginning, I wanted to run my own skateboard shop. I thought that was my destiny, was to be a professional skateboarder, run my own skate shop. Like, I had this vision, right? So I went to community college. I tried to get a job, I tried to get like a degree in business so that I could know how to run my own skateboard shop professionally, right? So I went to college for like 6 months or something like that at community college, and I hated it. I hated every minute of it because it was something that, it was just like high school. It was just like my normal school that I had been going to. And I wanted something different. You know, as an artist myself, I craved like the creativity of the art field. And I remember visiting my friend, and they had this cool art school they went to, and all I wanted to do was go to art school. So when I first started all this stuff, my mom came to me after that. Like when I left the community college thinking, I'm not going to do that. So my mom said, if you could do anything in the world, like if you could go to any school, what would you do? And I said, I would go to art school, right? And she goes, okay, well, if you could go to any school, what would you go to? I would go to the Art Institute of Colorado, because at the time, that was the school to go to here in Colorado. So she said right then and there, okay, if you're serious about it, we'll go right down there right now and sign you up. As a kid, at that time, you know, being fresh out of high school and being desperate to go to an art school, and I was so stoked because it was amazing that my mom would give me the opportunity to go to an art school and just to allow me to flourish, right? And to pursue something I wanted. So right then and there, me and my mom got in the car, I drove down there and signed up for art school, and the rest is like, you know, how it went down. But how I got my first job is I was busting my ass outside of school. So you would take your normal classes, but I wasn't just doing the normal classes and calling it a day and going home and going to bed and playing video games, right? And going out and smashing beers. I had my fun, but after high school, I really focused on because in high school I had tons of fun and partied it up, right? I don't have any regrets. And so once I got into college, I knew I wanted to focus and really focus my energy on my career in art. And so when I went there, it was no joke. I really honed in on my skills and I busted my ass. And I feel like that's what really got me the job. So what happened was, about 2 years into college at the Art Institute, I had been working on animation. I've been using, at the time it was called 3ds Max 7, I think, okay? So 3ds Max was the animation program you would use, and they had a system called Biped, which would allow you to move the character around. They had all these tutorials online. There wasn't a bunch of videos. There was just like books and like stuff that you could read, and it would tell you how to do kind of each step. Or sometimes online there would be like a step-by-step tutorial on how to make a character walk or whatever. So I did a lot of those animations, and I even tried to copy myself. I would take video footage of myself and try to copy it. And my first demo reel was really crude. It was really bad, right? And I will show some of it if I can find it. I'll put some on the screen. And my old demo reel, if you look at it now, you would laugh, right? It looks so bad. But that's a part of the process. I was just trying to do everything I could to learn. So I was trying to learn facial animation. I was trying to learn characters running and jumping and climbing. I was trying to learn characters fighting, because I knew I needed to know all of these things to become, you know, a good animator. So About 2 years into college, I started making a demo reel. I started making like a little showcase of all my little animations that I had done, right? Because I really wanted to get a job. And about this kind of circulated, right? Word of mouth started going around, and I was showing my animations to people, right? So it started circulating. And the student advisor woman of the school, she said basically a company came to the school to look for students to hire. Okay, a game company came to the school. They're looking to interview students that are basically graduating or just about to graduate. Well, I wasn't about to graduate at all. I still had like 2 years or whatever. But the career advisor woman, she was very, very awesome. Shout out to, I think her name is Kaylee, or I forget her exact name. I hate to say that too, because she was an amazing woman. It was just been so long. It's been over 10 years ago. But she was an amazing woman, and she ended up basically telling this company like, hey, I know this guy, you know. So she came to me and said, hey Mike, there's a company coming to the school. Do you have a demo reel? I think you said you had a demo reel, don't you? Do you want to set up an interview with the company? And I'm like, hell yeah. So I make sure I repolish my demo reel. I cut it up really cool with music. I get it all ready, and I go to this interview with this company. And they give me the interview, and everything goes pretty well. I share my passion for games. Long story short, the interview went pretty well, and they said they wanted me to do an animation test. Now, the animation test was, they wanted me to do a ball with legs, and the character with the ball and legs, they wanted me to animate him like a monkey. Now, I didn't know what they meant by that or whatnot, right? But all I knew was I had to take this character with a ball and legs and make him move like a monkey. And that was my test. So, that night, I went home, the next day, something like that. I went home and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to need a tree, a monkey. I just came up with this idea on the fly. And what I did was I built a tree, which you could do in Maya for like free. You can just make a tree. And I thought, oh, I know. It'd be cool if you don't know who this character is yet. I'll just have the tree sitting there, and my character, the little ball with legs, will be hiding behind the tree. And then he'll come out and like look out of the tree, make like a peek, and then he'll get scared and run around, and I made this little animation of him kind of scurrying up the tree, and then he jumped and like flips upside down, and he like landed on the tree branch and kind of like swung by his 2 feet, right? Because it's only a ball and legs. And then I had him flip and land on his legs, and then like look around and run off. And they ended up really enjoying it and liking that animation, and I ended up getting a job from that animation test. So that's how I ended up getting my first job. Was not just by, making a cool demo reel and doing this and doing that. It's a multiple series kind of events that took place to kind of get to that spot, right? If I hadn't been making my demo reel early, if I hadn't been working on all these personal animations on the side, and word of mouth hadn't got around, and if I hadn't been doing all of those things to manifest it, right? That's the way I look at things in life, okay? So if you're new to this channel, you're new to me and my personality and all that stuff. And one thing I got to tell you is that I rely a lot on the energy and on the world and on the universe and how all of it functions and how it's connected. And a lot of times it's not one simple thing that will make something happen. It's a whole series of events that have formed it and it's come to this point, right? So like, I wanted to share this video with you guys because not everybody gets a job the same way. Right? I will make another video on this topic on how you can get a job in the industry on first becoming a game tester, right? There's many different ways on how you can get a job, but this is how I got my job. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you've gotten something from it, that you've learned something from it, because I want to show you guys that there's many different paths to what you do in life and within video gaming. And if you're trying to get a job in video games, there's many different ways to do it. And so hopefully this shedded some light on something new on this topic. And I hope you guys appreciate this video. If you do, you know what buttons to press. And I appreciate all your time and support. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!